Yo, welcome back to Castle Garage. Today's video, we're going to go over the 7 1/4 to 8 3/4 swap in my 1974 Plymouth Scamp. This pretty much applies to all A bodies from 64 to 76. They're pretty much all the same, at least leaf springs and axles and such and so on. Before we begin today's video, I just want to give a quick shout out to TNTAutoparts.com for hooking me up with all the sweet parts that I have for this car and this awesome, comfortable, sweet hoodie. They hooked me up with fuel sending unit, heater hoses with the Mopar stamps on them, all kinds of date-coded stuff, carpet, floor mats. They've got it, whatever you need. From AMC, Ford, Mopar, GM, DeSoto, Imperial, you name it. They do anything from sheet metal, interiors, licensed authentic restoration parts, you name it. So check them out at TNTAutoparts.com. Anywho's, this is the car, 74 Scamp. Probably seen it in my previous videos. The first thing I started to do with the car when I parked it this winter was yank the 7 1/4 out of it. This thing's pretty tired. It was humming pretty loud. You know, pinion noises, all that fun stuff. It's a 245 open diff, so she is a grandma mobile. Leaf springs were sagging pretty good and the shocks were blown out. So what I did is I couldn't get my hands on a good A-body 8 3/4 rear axle. They're either asking way too much for them or they're about 10 hours out of state. So I found this 68 to 70 B-body 8 3/4 and I had it cut down at a local ring and pinion shop. I am about an hour north of Detroit and it cost me about $350. Not too bad at all. They had to move the spring perches in and shorten the axle a couple inches. So after that I did the Mopar Performance Superstock springs 002 and 003. Those have been around for quite some time. They're different from passenger side to driver's side. I believe the passenger side has a different arc to it to kind of plant the wheels a little bit better, but those work out pretty good. Make the car sit a little bit higher, and who doesn't love a good stink bug stance? You are going to need different shock plates. They are different for the 8 3/4 shock mount plates. I think I got these Mopar Performance at Mancini Racing. I went ahead and got a rubber hose from a 69 Dart, I believe. That's from Inline Tube, same with the brake lines. The driver's side I did have to kind of bend up a little bit to get to fit right, but the passenger side's fine. It fits in the clips well. Just know if you do get a B-body axle with axles still in it, they are not going to work. If you shorten the axle, you are going to need either custom length axles, or if you go follow the A-body length, then you'll just have to get A-body length axles. For the brakes, I got very lucky. These are the factory 7 1/4 10-inch brakes, drum brakes. Now the 7 1/4 only has 4 studs in it, but awesomely, I guess, the backing plate was already drilled for the 5th from factory, so I did not have to drill out the backing plate to fit the 5th stud, which is pretty cool. And always do not forget to put your inner axle seals in when you have your axle gone through and cut down. Let's see, brakes, don't forget to put new rubbers in your shackles. You're going to need 8 of those bushings. Moog makes them. I think they have some poly ones as well now, but all the factory hardware seemed to fit. This bushing does have a larger hole, but I don't think that's going to mess anything up. You know, the bolt's a little sloppy in there, but we'll see how that goes. And then you're going to have to get yourself a center section. I've yet to do that, but it's on the list. Other than that, it looks like the parking brake works fine. I'll have this bolted up pretty soon, and we're good to go. So thank you for watching. If you guys have any questions, put them down in the comments, and you know, maybe tap what you guys want to see in the next video, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.